The Sony A9 II has arrived here at Hireacamera and is now available for hire. The A9 II has finished what the A9 has started, and Sony have clearly listened to some of the concerns that people had with the original model. We now have improved ergonomics and handling, with a redesigned grip and much sturdier feeling buttons, which come together to make a much more rugged feeling and well thought out camera. A new damped shutter mechanism means that we now have mechanical continuous shooting up to 10 frames per second, and that is with a new anti-flicker feature as well, which is aimed specifically at sports photographers. And of course that builds on the already very impressive 20 frames per second continuous shooting with the electronic shutter, with even faster tracking autofocus than before. We now also have less viewfinder lag, and these things come together with the fact that we have no blackout on the viewfinder when we're continuous shooting to make one hell of a continuous shooting experience, and is definitely the best of any camera that I've personally used. The buffer itself is faster now, and we also have 2 UHS 2 compatible card slots as opposed to just the one on the original A9. What this means is less chance of reaching a bottleneck when you're having to wait for the camera to write files from the buffer to the card. Connectivity has also been given some special attention, with the idea of appealing to news agencies and stadium sports shooters. Sony have created a new remote application for your computer which allows you to shoot tethered. You get a live view feed and the ability to control a bunch of the camera's settings. You can even remotely format the SD card, as well as switch between FTP servers. Speaking of FTP, the A9 II can transfer images in the background as you shoot to a server of your choice, and this will be really useful for press photographers where speed is imperative. You can also record voice tags for your images, and these can be automatically converted to text and embedded in the metadata of each file. Videographers may not be the immediate target audience for this sort of camera, but we do now have eye tracking for video in the A9 II, which is something that can only be found elsewhere in the A6600 from Sony, which I'm filming this video on. It proves to be really useful for one-man banders like myself, where it leaves you able to focus on your composition. Most importantly, it just works, though not for animal eyes just yet. So there are the main headlines with the A9 II. For sports, press and wildlife photographers, it's got to be one of the best options out there now, but with the usual creature comforts, I'm sure it'll prove to be a great all-rounder too. To make your own mind up, you can try an A9 II for yourself by hiring one from us. It's live on the website now, and the link is down below.